14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my houses. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Back roll.
send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you, keep your light lit. Rappers can't see, most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes, there's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences, 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury, I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. There's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the storm in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the storm in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Dasani, my wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home and change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on the face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the storm in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the storm in my whole life. My whole life.
Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of the University of Practical Knowledge. We've been established and teaching truth since 1969. All right. So I can go for 1 second. All right. All right, now we should be toward. All right, so the title of this class is Juneteenth pro-white supremacy? So on face value, y'all probably thinking like, oh, it's going to be like clickbait. He's just trying to get people to tune in and listen to what he's about to say. But I have some truth for y'all. Have anybody ever asked themselves, what is Juneteenth? Like, why is it we only been really hearing about it like the last decade or so? I know when I was coming up, I never even heard of Juneteenth. And I used to be somewhat decent on history. No, about Black History Month, but nobody actually talks about Juneteenth. And it's not by accident. One of the main reasons why is because, one, is big business. All right, so do anybody know what Juneteenth is all about?
I really don't, man.
Yeah, not really. Not really. Man, no sweat. So, in a nutshell, like, it's history, but I kind of wanted to focus in on pride, but this is necessary. And we also got, is it Father's Day coming up, or has it already passed?
I think maybe it might be today.
It's known as on a Sunday.
I just heard about it today. I think it might be.
Father's Day? Oh, shit. Let me get you the spin around. But all right, anyways, I can't even remember. Get into this truth, like you forget all about holidays and all your oppressive ways, and then you got to come right back like, man, I'm getting something. So I'm gonna run through this. All right, so in a nutshell, are y'all familiar with right around the Civil War? Right before the Civil War started.
I wasn't even paying attention, to be honest.
All right, no, so I give you the American history side of it. And this is what they don't teach our kids in school. And then I'll break it down further. During the early years of America, what year are we thinking about? What year are we talking about? This got to be around, let's say it's 1866, so early 1800s. Right around that time. Or mid 1800s, rather. It was the North, you got the Confederacy, you got like the Unions, right? North and South. In a nutshell, the South was growing powerful, especially with wealth, because of the free labor. And they had disagreed with the North. And what started the Civil War was basically this. The South wanted to succeed from being a part of America. I mean, like they wanted to be separated, they wanted to be like their own country. And that's how the whole entire war started. Now, why is this relevant today? Because Abraham Lincoln did what they call the Emancipation Proclamation. And what that was all about, I'm looking at screens here. Oh, it's gonna let me do it. All right, most on cross. All right, I'm in there. Man, I like swim well. I'm gonna have this. Can y'all see this TV? Can y'all see that at all?
You see it?
I might need to get it.
Let's
Ask me right here when you see it.
Can y'all see it now?
Yeah.
Do I need to turn on some more? Or is that wild?
Yeah, it's wild.
Alright, so I'm just have an article up. That's all. I ain't gonna have too much going on. I'm just have an article up. That way y'all can what I'm saying, y'all can read along. Alright, there we go. Oh, so I gotta do one more thing. Turn off the display. So basically, bear with me 1 second for those of y'all that's tuning in. Bear with me just 1 minute. I'll lock never. I don't say it's all on there. All right, so did I see the historical legacy of Juneteenth? Did y'all see they got like an old photo of this family? This was June 19th in 1900. It says called Freedom's Eve. So basically, as I was saying, the South wanted to succeed from being a part of America, succeed from being a part of the states. And what that meant happened when Abraham Lincoln was president, he could not allow the South to separate themselves from being part of the United States of America. So with that, he did what they call the Emancipation Proclamation, which in essence what they call free the slaves. Now, why did he so-called want to free the slaves? Because some of those slaves was being part of their military. He wanted to loosen up their numerical strength by weakening them into military, by saying the slaves are now free. Now, why is it relevant to today? Over in Texas, they were still, when they so-called freed the slaves, they didn't find out till almost 2 years later. I mean, yeah, no, 2 months, slightly, 2 months, slightly. About 2 months later. And some more even went years. But the point is that they found out so late, they decided to celebrate once they got free. And that's how the whole Juneteenth pretty much started. As y'all can read up here, the Freedom's Eve, Eve of January, talking about white snipes and all this other stuff. In the Confederate States declared legally free Union. Union soldiers who were black marched on plantation across the cities. Good old stuff like they are soldiers as well. Because if you don't know, we fought in the Civil War on both sides, with the Union and the Confederate. And that's important to show because every war in America, we fought and bled for on both sides, on all sides. So literally everywhere that America has fought in, we fought in every war on both sides as well. Whether it be the Americans versus the British, Americans versus the French, American versus the Spaniards, America versus Native Americans, American versus the Hispanics, America versus the Arabs, America versus everybody. We fought in every war and on both sides. So this is just one of the just doing just a brief summary about the Juneteenth. So one decent fact is it says on June 19th, 1865, 2,000 Union troops arrived on Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that there were more than 250,000 enslaved black people in that state who were free by the executive decree, and this day became known as Juneteenth. So this was happening in 1865. As I see earlier, with the emancipation, it started talking about in 1863. So in Texas, some of those slaves were still slaves 2 years after they was freed. And hence when they found out in June, like 19th or something like that, hence where you get the whole Juneteenth from. Now, the title of this class is Juneteenth pro-white supremacy? That's the big question. Also, if you got any questions in the chat, just type it in. Shalom, Princess, how you doing? So the question is now, is it pro-white supremacy? Those are the questions we got to ask ourselves. And one way to find out is to figure out what's it about today. Like, how come we was not told about this? Let me see in here. One way is to find out, okay, who makes money off this month? Like, since it's now an American holiday, and I bring out the history when it became like a national holiday. Who makes money off Juneteenth? So if we got like this whole Juneteenth, our month about us being free as free blacks and we're no longer slaves, and they found out in Galveston, Texas 2 years later, who benefits from it today?
Not us. White people.
How come we don't benefit from it?
I ain't seen it. I ain't even hear about it till like a year ago. Yeah.
I
I thought they just did. I thought it was new, fresh.
Yeah, I always thought it was fresh. Like, I don't ever recall this hearing this from. I went to Fisk. It's a black university, HBCU rather, and I don't even recall ever hearing about Juneteenth. Not even at Fisk. So the point is, a lot of people, a lot of us in UPK already knew, but I actually saw it last year. It was one of my first Juneteenth events. We went out there, to talk to our people and, pass out flyers, and that's all the way we dressed. They saw us wearing these fringes and boots and looking all masculine, and you know what I'm saying? They're like, who are these right here? Can we interview y'all? Come on, sis, go ahead. So what I'm saying is this. We was out at Hartman Park. Remember, it's all about black people. We got free from our oppressors, right? And now it's just a time people just want to celebrate because we're free. So now we just bring out like good business. People who got like their merch. You're selling butters and soaps and oils, and if you got your own law firm and you passing out business cards, there's all like everybody black just coming in. They showing big businesses, and we support one another. It's support black-owned businesses, right? Guess who we saw at Hartman Park? We saw our oppressors there with their stands. They're selling merch too. They selling merch. So hold up. It's supposed to be a day about blacks or enslaved Africans, what they were called at the time. It's also about the African Americans who were once slaves, were now free. We are those descendants of those slaves. And now it's for a day that's supposed to be about us, and we come together. We now have to still shop with our oppressors. Like they here in our events with their own tables. They've been a vendor for our event. It's not like we had to go to them because like it's a park. You gotta go to your oppressors because it's a park. But like they got like their own vending spots. They got their own food trucks and everything else. I'm like, oh, they finally caught on. These Negroes are gonna spend that bread, and they're gonna continue to shop with one another. But what happens if we make them shop with us? How much how much money could we possibly make? And that's when you realize that this has been something that's been going on since the 60s, the 1860 route. They didn't do this by accident. This is something that they tour around and they give us. Anything that our oppressor gives us is not for us. It is for him to benefit in some fashion. Whether you look at it like in the 60s, they gave us civil rights. Whether you look at it like they gave us our women benefits like WIC, food stamps and families first. But it said fathers can't be inside the house. When they gave us civil rights, it's a broad statement saying it's now for minorities. But who's considered a minority? It ain't just black people. You got to add homosexuality as a minority. You got to add women's rights as a minority. You got to add Asians as a minority. You have to add East Indians as a minority. So they put in different code words to further appease their agenda by not giving us anything. Even when it comes down to a day of us so-called being free, we can't even celebrate that ourselves, amongst ourselves, without our oppressor having to come over here and benefit off of it. So anytime our oppressor gives us anything, it's never about freedom. It's never about being free. It's all about money with our oppressors. It's all about keeping us dumbed down dogs and keeping us deceived. Because what good do you benefit from it? Like if we was freed in, now they say it's really 1866, 1865, but with the whole Emancipation Proclamation, when that was signed, now it's kind of like, okay, it's been signed, so what now? Oh, now y'all free, y'all have to be a part of the Confederate War. So the question becomes, to Abraham Lincoln, did you free blacks because it was a moral thing to do, or did you so-called free them because you don't want them to fight in the war to go against the Union? He said, I quote, I'm going to paraphrase rather, he said, if he could have won the war without freeing slaves, he would still done it. So we have to understand that Juneteenth was never about freeing slaves. It's just like a backhanded compliment. You only got free because the Union, the North, was going to lose the war because they still had slaves fighting in the South. That's the only reason why they got freed. And the South was trying to succeed from being a part of America. So that's why they got so-called rights. That's why they got able to get a little bit of freedom that they have, or separation. But here's some more stuff. Once we got free, they put in laws that locked us right back up based on the 13th Amendment. Are any of y'all familiar with that? The 13th Amendment. I'll paraphrase it for y'all. Basically, the 13th Amendment is it says that you are free. You're free unless you are free, but you'll go back into slavery if you commit a crime. So basically, you are free until you commit a crime. Then you have to go right back to being of servitude. Now, why is it important? They had what they call hobo laws. Like if you did not have a house and you was homeless, if you're homeless, you broke the law, then you had to get arrested. Then you had to go right back into slavery. They gave what they call like manumission laws. Like let's say that somebody had ran away prior to this law being in effect, and they have to reclaim their property. And if you ran away, you're stolen property. If you stole something, that's a crime, and you go right back into slavery. So they put in laws like that to lock us right back up, even though we have been so-called free. Now, of course, I got a couple of scriptures for y'all. I ain't gonna leave y'all without none. So here's another thing I would like to bring up to y'all. Since it is a federal holiday, well, Juneteenth is short. Okay, Juneteenth is short for June 19th. All right, that's how Juneteenth started. But they found out the slaves in Texas, Galveston, Texas, found out they were free almost 2 years later since the Emancipation Proclamation. That's when Abraham Lincoln signed over the bill to say all black slaves are now free. Now, fast forward, it becomes a federal holiday. Now, here's the kicker. You have a national federal holiday for blacks being free from being slaves. But don't you know there's not a lot of government jobs for black people to have? So who does it really benefit? We ain't got no type of government jobs. I mean, we in there, but it ain't us for real. It's them. So now they get another paid holiday off. Was supposed to be for about us, but they benefit off of it. So now they pay for their own holidays, but yet they get a day off, but we still have to be out of the slavery. And these are just small little tic tacs that they do to show our presence, like white supremacy is pro Juneteenth. There's nothing about Juneteenth that actually benefits so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. In hindsight, it looks good that we come together, but what do we actually learn? So in the scripture, we're gonna jump right in. I think I have my sword over there. I'll just use my phone. We're gonna go to Job 9:24. Job 9:24. Let me get the Job 9:24. So, and this is just something just to show how people like these and some of these scriptures is gonna be like you hear it a lot. Like, and because every time we turn around, our oppressor does something that has already been done to our people, and our people tend to forget, or they tend to be so forgiving, or they tend to be all inclusive. They tend to have that Martin Luther King mentality, that or the Christianity mentality that God loves everybody, so this is justified. So this is something that this is going to break. This is like a precept. You understand about the next scripture I'm about to bring out. Job 9:24. Y'all read it.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It's given to who?
The hand of the wicked.
The righteous.
The wicked.
Okay, so the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Who's ruling the earth now?
The white man.
He's what?
The wicked.
There we go. So now, for those who's watching, they might not understand this. They might say, well, like, how can you say it's this particular time? You know, at one point in time, the Jews was ruling. At one point in time, it was Genghis Khan that was ruling. Another time, it was Alexander the Great was ruling. We had so many different rulers and stuff in that nature. Well, one, let's fast forward to this time. One, you can just ask the fishes. We all see them, they just popped up dead right on shore. You can ask the birds. We all see them just drop from the sky right on the damn ground. You can ask the deer. We all see them just drop dead as herds of them. We all seen this happen. So what do we know for sure? Like, a lot of animals are just popping up dead. And then look at the ozone layer. They're talking about how the ozone layer is bad. They see the ice is constantly melting. They're seeing more and more countries getting raided into by all the ones who look exactly alike. They offer their democracy, they offer their governments to different countries. And if their country says no, they'll just make them pay fines. They'll cause rebellion. They'll cause division and take out certain leaders. We've seen America do it. We've seen the Russians do it. We've seen all these different factions of people today still do this. So who is the primarily who are the ones that's in rulership? It does not look like you and I. The primarily rulers are what the Bible talks about, Esau, Edomites, and they look like Caucasians, all of them. And then next in line is who? Moabs, which would be the so-called the Asian man. You know what I'm saying? Or Chinese rather. Because they got their numbers, so they oppress us too, but they ain't as heavy as our oppressors as the Caucasian race. But the point I'm bringing out is, even someone was to be in disbelief of this verse, who's ruling today right now? And they have been in rulership for like the past 500 years, 600 years. And there's been nobody more wicked than them since this current millennium. All right, keep going.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
So we all heard about whitewashing. When like they take certain images that was painted of old, and they'll whitewash it, they'll paint the faces that was black, they're painted white. And then they'll say that someone's of a certain race when he's not. For example, we all know that Christ was a black man. He's the most famous of it, but it won't be just him. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. What year we in? 2023? Don't be surprised by the year 20 if it's still around, of course. By the year 2045, they start saying Muhammad Ali was white. y'all think I'm joking. I mean, they taking everybody. I'll give you another example. Y'all heard of Santa Claus, right? What you know about Santa Claus? He was what?
What that white dude that come down your chimney?
Yeah. But and then here's part of the whitewashing. Santa Claus, well, the idea of him was an actual man. It was a black man in Russia. His name was Saint Nicholas. He ran an orphanage. And he used to give he used to have kids put up socks. They put coins in their socks. They took that idea and made him white and fat and jolly and just stole his works. So the point I'm bringing out is, and this just is, I can bring a history about St. Nicholas as well. The point I'm bringing out is that anytime there's somebody great, they're going to take that great person and make it to an image of themselves. If they don't do that, then they're going to usurp themselves into that and make them that great person amongst the rest of people. You want another example? The Last Samurai. Have y'all seen it? Or have you heard of it?
Yeah, I heard it.
It's a Japanese movie. They're samurais. They only samurais are Japanese. What they have in there? They had Tom Cruise, and he's a what? He's an oppressor. So why you got this oppressor being a part of this Japanese movement? He's saving everybody. They always usurp themselves inside of something to make themselves look good. Another one, I give you one more. There's another movie that just came out not too long ago. It's the Avatar movie. Y'all seen Avatar, right? Or heard of it?
I heard it, yeah.
How can I put this? Basically, Avatar is... How can I get this to you? Avatar is about this place, or this land, where there's like these other types of creatures. And the governments, like the American government, decided they were going to go there and live amongst these types of culture of people. But one of them, they captured one of the bodies, and they had like advanced technology. They can like transport your thoughts, like your brain thoughts and your brain cells to that creature body, and now you can be living as that creature. Long story short, that creature, which is still an oppressor, living amongst them, decides to fight against other oppressors and saves the day. Now we all saved, and basically that's what it is. He living amongst other people and he's saving everybody's life. So now you might look like them, but you're actually still an oppressor. Same stuff with Tarzan. Ain't no Caucasian in the damn jungle like that. I mean, the nice thing about it, they do it all the time. It's in all your TV shows. It's in all your movies. Let's see what else they done did it. I mean, everywhere you turn around, this is what they're doing. They're taking the judge of the faces, they're changing it. They're making themselves look superior. They're making themselves look like they invented everything. I used to joke around saying this and saw memes about it. But I actually asked myself, I don't actually know what they invented outside of the patent. What invention has our oppressor invented? Can't think of nothing, but he sure has stole all of them. He stole all of them. Have you heard of Eli Whitney? Never heard of him, right? No, sweat. He's not that much of an important guy. But he lived in the time of slavery. He saw a slave, create what they call the cotton gin. And he took credit for it. And therefore, once he saw that, it made the price of cotton skyrocket up. That's why he needed more slaves, blah, 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 blah. An oppressor saw someone create the cotton gin to process more cotton faster than just picking out the seeds with your hand. You put this machine, it rips off the thorns, it rips off some of the seeds. You produce more cotton, you make more money. Therefore, big business. And he had a patent, and he stole it from a slave, i.e. Eli Whitney, the cotton gin. The point is, they steal everything. So in Job, talking about like, man, these are the ones who are wicked. That's what the earth is giving up to. Any more in that verse?
You say, if not, where and who is it?
So that's part of that. That should be the question of the person who will be in denial. to say like, nah, it ain't our oppressor, then they should answer this question. If they're not the ones that's wicked today, then who is it? And these are the ones you have to look into to answer these type of questions, because they refuse to learn. They refuse to look into like what's actually going on. So Juneteenth. I know a lot of people don't know a lot about Juneteenth. It is just very vague. To understand the in-depth parts about Juneteenth, you will have to look into like the Civil War. All that stuff coincides with Juneteenth. But after Juneteenth, it's one big charade. It's one big farce. Like people just think like it's all about being happy and coming together. The idea of it sounds good, but none of us benefit from it. Like y'all say y'all just heard about a year ago. This has been going on since the 1900s. So none of us benefit from it. So we're gonna drop that. Let's go. Can you make straight when I make crooked? What is that? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. If you could, Barbara Shaw. Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. So the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So now, if you can't see that by now, then you're just refusing to see. So how this going to tie in with Juneteenth? I tied in as we end the class. Come on, let's get it together. All right. I tied in as we end the class. So Juneteenth is white supremacy for two reasons. One, it was given to us by our oppressors. That's the first reason why. The second reason why is because we're not in rulership. Anytime you have to be second class or third class or fourth class citizens inside of a country that's not of your own, it's going to always belong to that country, no matter how you look at it, because you got to get everything you need to sustain yourself from that oppressor. Everything you need to sustain yourself is what you got to get it from that oppressor. All right, let them know where you at.
Is it which verse?
That's a 7 and 13.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight, which he hath made crooked.
So, the first verse I had y'all read out was about the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Like, that's who's in charge right now. Wicked is something that's crooked and it's vile. You're going to always have people amongst our people to say that not all oppressors or children of Edom are bad. But this is the verse you got to bring out to them. They are made crooked. And it's a question, right? So this is the Lord speaking. He says, can reread it from the top?
Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight, which he hath made crooked.
So God is saying, man, if I made something crooked, how the hell can you make it straight when I made it to be crooked? And that's the mentality that we lack amongst in this holiday our people about to go celebrate. It's Juneteenth. That's what make our people lack about what's being crooked is they're finna go out and celebrate Father's Day. If it hasn't already came up yet. Shit, I don't know. Juneteenth, not Juneteenth. Well, Juneteenth, Father's Day, Pride Month. The Lord has made something crooked that our people are now trying to make straight. They want to say that not all oppressors are bad. We all heard this, right? The question is, we're not talking about individual base. We're not talking about individual relationships. We're speaking about a race. Their race has been an enemy to ours. How do we know? I give you one law. Just one. I give you just one. Affirmative action. You heard of that? Affirmative action. All right, civil rights. We all heard that, right? Now, where's this civil rights for the oppressor, for him? Where's this civil rights at? To make sure that you have to hire minorities. I go to the NFL, I make it simple. In the NFL, they have what they call the Rooney Rule. You know what that rule means? Anytime you have a vacancy, you have to interview at least one African American for that job. whether it be a head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams, quarterback coach, running back coach, offensive line coach, DB coach, middle linebacker coach, whatever. If it's dealing with the NFL, you have this called the Rooney Rule. You got to interview one African American. Now, they do that, but do they hire African Americans? No, not really. Why I'm saying this? When they say there aren't any bad, not all oppressors are bad, just show us the good ones. It's a rhetorical question. There is no such thing as a good oppressor. Why? Because they are the children of their forefathers. They have reaped the benefit of what their fathers have did to us, and they have not given it back to us. If they're not bad, then tell them to give up their benefit that they've gotten off the bloodshed of our forefathers. So that means, like, give up your purse, give us your job and your nice house. And how about we trade places? How about you give up your rulership? How about you don't vote in none of your elected officials? How about you say, you know, we're only going to support black people. How about you come and serve us? Give up your rulership if they are truly sorry or if they're not all bad. Of course, it's a rhetorical question because they are bad, because there is no Rooney Rule to make them hire white males. They have all the power, so therefore it's a buddy-buddy system. They're going to hire who they want. The point is, they are made crooked. The Most High made oppressors. The Most High made other races to do what they're going to do, right? And he's basically saying that if the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, you cannot make the wicked righteous. And that's basically what they're saying. That's why I brought up the precept to show that if the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, why are you trying to make that wicked be righteous? And what does it have to do with Juneteenth? Juneteenth was given to us by the hand of who? The wicked. So how can the wicked give you something to be righteous? If the wicked give you something, is it righteous? No. Because how do you get it? Now I'll give it to you this way. It might help, it might benefit, but that doesn't make it righteous. For an example, I'll bring it out in terms today. Say you got a D-boy. He's selling dope. He's selling that fentanyl. And we know somebody on the OD'd off of him. But he got money. You need like $800. It's your cousin. Man, Dez, I got you, homie. That ain't nothing to me, man. It's $800. I make that in about 45 minutes. There you go. That's $800. I mean, look, it ain't even no loan, homie. It's just a grand. At $800, he got another $800 in case you get down again. That's 16. It ain't nothing to me. I make that in 20 minutes. Now, he's wicked. Now, let's say you took that money, right? And you paid your bills. You really needed it, whatever. Was that righteous to do?
No.
It was wicked. How you get that money? Yeah. You destroying other people's lives, right? The point I'm bringing is this. When people say that, oh, well, they giving us jobs, they giving us this. So what if the wicked has given us something and we may have benefit from it, but they are still wicked and they are still crooked? I don't give a damn if our oppressors give us food stamps that feeds us because he puts inside his hell. Like, how can you put a people inside of hell and offer them a small relief and tell them, look what I gave you? No, you put my people in hell to begin with. You're the reason why I'm dependent on you to this way, because you rob the people of everything we got. So, all white people are bad on an individual relationship? Possibly not. No. Them as a race? Absolutely. For the ones that's not bad, are they willing to give up their position in their kingdom? The question is a yes or no. If they say no, as in like switch roles with you, as in to give up all their benefit, if they say no, then by proxy, what to make them? Wicked. Because if you're truly sorry, you give up everything. I apologize. The only ones that got a little bit remorse is the ones that kiss our boots. Them are the only ones. When you're out there on the street blazing and they feel sorry for what their ancestors did, them the only ones will say to the Most High, or will say to Christ, this good oppressor, what's a good white name? What's a good white name? Peter. Peter. Make sure you give Peter just 2 crumbs. Not a half, but 2 crumbs if you're good, Baba Kachai. Let Peter get some crumbs. Lord, when you punish this particular devil right here, just still punish them. They ain't escaping judgment, but just show them just a half a fingernail tip of some mercy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of wiping them out in 45 seconds, wipe them out in 2 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Just show them just a little modicum of mercy. Peter and Sarah, and what's that term? Karen. Oh, Lord, show her no mercy. Okay, show her no mercy. Make her quick. It's a lot here. But the point is, man, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, and there's no such thing as a good Edomite, a good oppressor. We don't give a damn. They do kiss our boots. We still pray for sin, evils, and curses. We want rulership and we want justice. And it's going to come through our King Yahushua coming back with a girdle dripped in blood. So we want him to come back and rule with an iron rod. And we are not going to settle for anything less than what our Most High, Yahweh, the King of the Jews, the God of Israel, said that what he promised us. It was to come back to his ways, to his fold. So Juneteenth, it became a federal holiday. Let me get that exact year. What is the exact year? What is it on here? I should have had it on here. Y'all so lucky. I ain't taught this over a year. But basically, Juneteenth holiday. It became a federal holiday. Yeah. Oh, 2021. That's when it became a holiday. Federal holiday. 2021. By Jim Crow Joe Biden. That's what I always called Joe Biden. He used to be running. I was called Jim Crow Joe. Got it from Kamala Harris. He's vice president. All right, so why is it important to talk about that? Man, we was given this federal holiday by oppressors, and therefore that's why it's automatically pro-white supremacy. It became a national holiday by oppressors, given to us by the hand of the wicked, and for therefore it is wicked. Juneteenth is no longer about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is, well, I was talking about the Emancipation Proclamation. I'll just read this real quick. It says, but in the 13th Amendment, the Emancipation Proclamation ended slavery throughout the United States. But not everyone in the Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented in places still under Confederate control. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate states of Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that more than 250,000 enslaved black people in the state were freed by the executive decree. This day has become known as Juneteenth by the newly free people of Texas. Because they were so deep down in the South, they found out late. So when they got free, it became Juneteenth. Not 2 years earlier, when the other slaves found out, but since they was late to the party, that's when it became known as Juneteenth. So this is just more of a, but I can send you out this article about some of the origins about Juneteenth. But what I want to bring out is why is it still pro-white supremacy? It's pro-supremacy because you no longer have, it's no longer about the free slaves, the African Americans, what they were called in this country. I can bring up, you can look up, let me see if I can find it. I might need to look it up for y'all. There was, there's one in the Carolinas. I'm not sure if it was north or south. It might have been north. And they have like different banners to promote Juneteenth. And citizens of Carolina was in an uproar because they're promoting about Juneteenth. It's an oppressor, of course. But let me give y'all a guess. Why do you think that was mad? Because it was promoting Juneteenth. Like, if someone's promoting Juneteenth, why would you, as black people, generally speaking, and you support Juneteenth, why would you be mad that someone else put up a banner to promote it?
Because they want to use.
That's one. What you got?
I can't even think.
Yeah. So our oppressors was promoting Juneteenth, which they did it without the consent of the blacks of Carolina.
I didn't know that part. My bad.
Oh yeah. So, but there's one thing they did, something they put on that banner. And what do you think our oppressors could have put on that banner that would have black people in an uproar?
Confederate flag, huh?
Nah, they didn't do the Confederate flag. I mean,
A picture of a slave.
no, they didn't do a picture of slaves. I mean, what have our oppressors been doing?
News.
Not the news. There's a verse I brought out. They come up.
White face.
Yeah, not white face, but white people.
White people.
They put white people on the banner. They look at us. We're celebrating Juneteenth. That's what they do. They said, remember the scriptures, they cover the face of the judges thereof. They're going to take over everything. I'm like, maybe see if I can look it up real quick.
That's still a picture of it?
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I forgot to save it. Here we go, right here. Right there, buddy. Juneteenth.
Oh, what the?
Edomites. Turn the camera around so you can feel about the shot. So they can see this. Can they see it good?
I don't know.
You went for wood, though, man. You just used the bark thing.
Shoot.
Can they see it on there?
Nah, not really.
Dang. So, what about to turn it over?
But it is two white people right there on the banner.
But, Salakia. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. It's hard to see. But yeah, so this is what our oppressors do. I kid you not. That's them, two Edomites, Peter and Karen, right there. They on the damn banner for Juneteenth. They talking about come support us. So now, in essence, you know what they're gonna do? What year we in 2023? I give you about 2031. They're gonna start saying, well, you know, Juneteenth is only a holiday because of the great works of the northern folks, of the northern white folks of the northern states during the Emancipation Proclamation. We are the reason why those folks down in Galveston Bay, Texas, found out they were free slaves, because Abraham Lincoln sent down those generals to free those slaves. Look at this great work we did to free y'all. We enslaved y'all and we freed y'all. And we're going to take honor in freeing the slaves. Look how happy they is for June F-15th.
I wouldn't know what it is.
You will know it?
I wouldn't know what that means. I wouldn't know what Juneteenth is.
This is what they do. This is what, I kid you not. So, why is Juneteenth pro-white supremacy? One, it was given to us by the oppressor. Anytime your oppressor gives you something, it is something wicked. If you don't have nobody of righteousness dealing with it. So now we're going to go to Psalms 37 and 21. Psalms 37 and 21. So, why is this important? Or why is it pro-white supremacy? Because, like, man, we don't even get paid for this. It's a federal holiday. And all blacks, one, we don't have any federal jobs. That's for start. It's a government. It's a federal holiday. We don't have any jobs for blacks. Two, they get off, but we don't get off. If it's all about freeing the slaves, give the slaves a free work day. Give them a PTO. Give us a paid vacation. I don't care if you work in McDonald's, you work in Chick-fil-A, you work in some bar. It should be a part of, if everybody got to pay taxes, it should be in the curriculum of the United States government that if they are black and they just started a job the day before Juneteenth, they automatically get paid for Juneteenth. Whatever their stipend is. I don't give a damn if they supposed to make $80,000 for that day or they only make $80 for that day. pay them their stipend, or to do it or fee flat, $200 for everybody black. Now they could have did something like that. Have they? Will they? No. But the point is, we have holidays that our oppressors now starting to take over. Now that they made it a federal holiday, that was in 2021. Just 2 short years later, they already got their faces on there. I said to you earlier, beginning of class, we went down into the park and we saw our oppressors with vendors, and they making good money off of us doing our oppression. So Juneteenth is a joke. It's a stupid holiday because it's not even, they're not even in unison. Like on a more selfish look to it. Like if I'm in Tennessee, why the hell I care about? Because they found out 2 years later in Texas. Like, goddamn, why y'all get to make it a damn holiday? We all got freed on this day. Why? Because y'all Johnny come lately got freed last. Y'all making a holiday. Let me tell you why they made a holiday. Because there's so many free slaves, they start to celebrate. And it just kept doing it over years. Years and years later, and the American government got steamrolled up like, hey, they still celebrating, and it's starting to come out now. And now they making good money. All right. They still celebrating. Okay, we'll let y'all have that. They still celebrate. They coming together more. Now it's national. Everybody doing it. Let's make it a holiday. Year 1, 2021. Year 2, let's put ourselves as the vendors. Now we're making money off of it. Year 3, let's just take it on over. They got Black Christian money. We'll take Juneteenth. Go ahead and read what you got. Let me know where you at.
Psalms chapter 37, verse 21.
Yeah.
The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth.
Oh, that's a good one. Dad, I didn't really want that one. But that's a good one. Reread that one for me. What was your fault? I really said 32. But go ahead, read that one over.
You said 32?
No, I was thinking 32, but that's we read that one over. That's good.
No.
Read 21 over. You good, Robert Kashaw?
But the wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth.
You understand what that means?
They borrow and only pay one time.
Yeah, and that in the spirit of it's like they give us empty promises. You know, they come take from us, and they give us like they whisper words into our ears to make us believe into them. Like any president, like any politician. That's what the wicked does, and they don't pay. We get nothing back in return. And yet and still, what do we do as Black people? We show mercy, and we're like, oh, this one's different. We're going right back to voting, right? So they vote for it because, obviously there's some other politician that wanted Juneteenth to become a national holiday. So don't think that it was just like they saw it. They want to take over, but it wasn't all done by their hands because they saw that they can make money off of it. So drop down to verse 32.
Verse 32, the wicked watch it.
Huh?
What you saying?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
The wicked what?
The wicked watcheth the righteous.
So the wicked watches. So what? So Job says the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, and now the wicked is in rulership, and they're watching. Who are they watching? So what does the wicked? If you are in rulership, right, and you're wicked, what's the purpose of watching?
Make sure they don't turn on you.
Make sure they don't. That's a damn good answer. That's a damn good answer. Make sure they don't turn on you. Make sure they don't try to take over. Keep going, but it says the wicked watches who?
The righteous.
Wow. Okay. If the righteous is doing stuff that's like a good deed and they're good, peaceful people, why do you need to watch these peaceful people? Why do you think you want to watch them?
They scared of revenge.
They're scared of revenge. That's one way, but
They got a guilty conscience.
well, if they're wicked, it's not really the guilty conscience. It's more because you are the evil one, right? So just think like someone is. If you're wicked, let's just think of Jeffrey Dahmer. You ever heard of that old sociopath? That's a wicked individual. That's a wicked bastard, right? He was doing that wicked stuff because he was just evil. He wasn't in fear of them trying to rebel because it was wicked. He wasn't in fear of no guilty conscience. So the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world, or our oppressors of the world, as in Peter and Karen on Juneteenth or whatever, look at this. Keep going.
And seeketh to slay him.
Man, that's what the wicked's going to do. It ain't about guilty conscience, not about they friends of rebel. What they do is not that they fear they're going to rebel. They fear that if enough of us come back together, what they could do to their empire. Meaning, like, if they wanted to go to war with us, we would lose. We don't have any military. We don't have any gun manufacturing stores. We don't have the land to grow on crops. We don't have the seeds. We don't have the structure. Hell, we don't even have the technology. Like the technology we have is what they give us. The most advanced or updated technology we have is that smartphone. Now, there might be a few of us who might create some invention like trucks. As you can use trucks, you can use like put water inside your truck to drive instead of gasoline. We all heard of these type of things before, but this is what we've done, but nothing on the military side of it. So it ain't that they fear that we might rebel because we would lose overnight. Now, but what should they fear? They should fear what the UPK has been preaching. Come back to the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. If we come back to the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, then what can we actually do?
We could take over overnight.
That's one. I'm listening. What about you?
No, we can come together.
If we come together, like, so why should they fear us coming together?
Because they already wronged us.
They wronged us.
They gonna be at the bottom.
Okay. If we come together, right? Let's say everybody here does. If we come together, right? We still don't have the military might to go to war with them. Like, they can touch a button and they can have a missile the size of a fly go straight to your eyeball and bust out your brains. Have y'all seen that video?
No.
Lord have mercy.
I thought you was playing.
I'm not bullshitting. No, they got insect-sized C4 that can fly, like small drones. It packs a little bit of C4 enough. You do know, okay, take a round, a bullet, like a 9mm. Just imagine that it has wings on that. So instead of it being like the grain of that shell or that bullet, it'd be compact with C4. So when it hits you, it do the damage of a bullet, but it explodes instead of mostly penetrate. So we already got bullets they can do it. Just imagine they just put wings on that and it just flies to you instead of it hitting the cartridge and it explodes. It takes the projectile or the bullet, the round, going into like your temple or something. Just imagine that it's flying now. It flies, it lands right there, and then explodes. So even if we was to come together, we don't have the military might to go to war. So why do they still fear us coming together? Or why do they fear what the ISBK is teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to be more accurate?
I want to say this, but I don't know if it's wrong.
Just shoot for it.
They scared that we gonna bring Christ back.
Oh, that's the spirit I want you to be in. Give yourself a hand.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Man, they do not want the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana to wake up every so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American to come back to the Lord's law, statutes, commandments. Why? One, the empire will fall financially. They'll lose a little bit of their military might because we will come out of the military. All the inventions that we've created, we will take back with us. Also, now granted, us still being here, we might still stimulate the country because we'll come back to shop ourselves. But like businesses, a lot of businesses will start to go bankrupt, and we'll start to create like our own businesses. Now, granted, I'll give you an example. Instead of people shopping at Target, people start shopping at, just name a store, random, right? Makeup for one.
Little C's.
It's pizza.
Little C's. Nah, you know I eat over on David.
Okay, Little C's.
Yeah.
I swear, we'll go with Little C's then. I'm thinking about CC's. Little C's. I'm thinking about Little Caesars or Sloppy. So everybody going to Little C's. So instead of people shopping at Target for like their natural, the other, their shirts and cleaning supplies, they're going to Little C's now. So Target goes out of business, but Little C's becomes a new Target. So everybody black go to Target. I mean, everybody black go to Little C's, and then nobody go to Target. Target crumbles, but it still stimulates the country because Little C's had to pay taxes. You see what I'm saying? So they'll lose like all their businesses, and now it's still, instead of it being like a bunch of our oppressors in these like Fortune 500 companies, it's going to be replaced by Black, Hispanic, and Americans. But that ain't the real reason. We talking about Christ. Now we can really provoke the Most High. Say, hey, Lord, we're ready. Go ahead and send our King. We can provoke the Most High. Say, you know what? I'm ready. Yahweh, get on down now. Take that sword with you. Take that sword with you. So I'm trying to be a part of the ones. You know, if it Lord alive don't escape my lifetime, I want to be one of the brothers that get to hunt other men down. Yeah, read that verse where you hunt other men down. Go to Jeremiah, do 16 and 16. So I think it's Jeremiah 16 and 16. But I want to when I'm talking about that, we want rulership. We want to provoke the Most High to send Christ. Like we already pray to send evils and curses, and we already pray for the destruction of our oppressors. But the main point is like we want all of Israel to be saved. That's what we want. We want all of Israel to be saved because this is the promise that He's given us. These are the blessings of us coming back into rulership. I think it's Jeremiah 16, 16. Yeah, Jeremiah 16 and 16. I think that's it. If not, it might be 14 and 14.
Yeah, it's it.
Huh?
Yeah, it's it.
Go ahead, read it.
Jeremiah 16 and 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers.
So he says fishers, right? What are we doing? What you think we're doing right now in the UPK?
Fishing for
We fish for fish, right?
Right.
No, we ain't fishing for no fish. This is like a metaphor.
Nah, I said recruits.
Our recruit. Yeah. Well, that's one way. Yeah, we recruit. Like we're trying to throw that rod out there with the hook on. Like, listen, you belong to the Most High. Like, we got you. Listen to us. You belong to the Most High. You have your own God. You have your own language. You have a king you have to serve. And we're here to teach our people. Say, look, the era that you live in the world, that's an error. Like you got to come into like how the Lord wants you to be. Put down the wickedness that you're doing and come be righteous. So we out here, we just basically like fishing. We just putting out the Lord's work, putting out the Lord's words. So, hey, listen, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Juneteenth is a joke. Do not honor this holiday. It's given to us by our oppressor. Now, we're not saying to go out and don't shop, but we're saying is like, don't honor this Juneteenth. It's an effing joke. It has no business of. It's been hijacked by our oppressors, and we get nothing out of it. So the scripture says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers." All right, keep going. So meaning like He's gonna send out men who's gonna go out and fish and go out and spread the Lord's work, the Lord's word. They like to bring people in. Keep going.
Saith the Lord, and they shall fish them.
So He's sending out those fishers, and they're gonna go out and capture those fish and go out and spread this truth and to wake up the Lord's chosen people. Keep going.
And after I will send, after will I send for many hunters.
So now, He said first, the Lord, He's gonna send out for many fishers. They're gonna be fishers of men. We got out here looking for men to be a part of the Lord's army, to wake up and stop their wickedness, right? Then after we do all the fishing, like, hey, we're just talking, like, stop sinning, stop being whores, stop selling dope, stop watching porn, stop being OnlyFans, stop being sodomite, stop being part of certain alternative lifestyles. Stop any amount of wickedness that you're doing. All right? Now, Now I will send for many hunters. Now who's going to be hunting? Soldiers going to be hunting. Now, granted, this is something that's going to happen after Christ comes. All right. So just think of it like this. We always talk about like Third World War, right? Just think of a big nuclear bomb, and it sets off all over the earth. Not all of our oppressors is going to be eradicated immediately. It's kind of like, think of like one big war. It's like you break down a stronghold, but now what's left? Just the little minions. You know what I'm saying? Just the ones that hide in caves and in their bunkers on the ground. And here's where those who are rolling with Christ come into the mix. It says, I will send for many hunters. Keep going.
And they shall hunt them.
They shall what?
They shall hunt them.
They should join hands with them.
They shall hunt them.
No, they should be made crooked again.
They shall hunt them.
No, to take the crooked ones and make them straight.
They shall hunt them.
No, they should be a part of Juneteenth and celebrate.
They shall hunt them.
Let them be a part of Juneteenth event and have a vendor.
They shall hunt them.
Man, they gonna do what?
They shall hunt.
Keep going.
From every mountain.
Meaning, like, we don't care what landscape you in. Like, we don't care if it's really high. We don't care if it's really rocky. Keep going.
And from every hill.
Man, they're going to reiterate. Like, listen, we don't care if it's a mountain or if it's a hill. Keep going.
And out of the holes of the rocks.
And they said, we don't give a damn if you dug up a bunker underneath that mountain, underneath that hill, underneath that cliff. Every mountain, every hill, and every hole, we're going to hunt. And what do hunters do? It's a rhetorical question. Yeah. It's a rhetorical question. Like the Most High, we're not playing no games. And we at UPK, some of us, we saying like, hey, if we don't escape our lifetime, like we'll love to be one of those soldiers that becomes. Right now we're fishers. Every priest you see in UPK and they're teaching, we're fishers. We're fishers of men. All right. But a lot of us want to become those hunters. I wouldn't mind being that hunter. Like now, I'm trying to think of a movie. Think of Terminator. Think of Terminator. Think of Terminator as like the Most High. He destroyed their government. He destroyed like their governments, their big computer power. Now they're just scattered around, and he's sitting out his Terminators to go hunt all of them down. Think of it like that. We're trying to be some of them hunters. We trying to be the ones, oh, I found one in this container. Here they go, right here. Let's go. Let's get it. I whip out my sword or whatever fancy weapon I got at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mindset we got to be in. But I digress on that one. But yeah, I digress on that one. But let's get back to the other one. Let's get back to Psalms 37 and 32. I might got some in Psalms.
You got David just I used the book. You said 37:32. You want me to reread it?
Yeah, and then we're gonna go to Psalms. I can read that. Then we'll go to 83. Then I'm gonna end the class.
Psalms chapter 37, verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him.
So like now, this is the reason why. There's no good. There's all oppressors are crooked. This is the reason why you cannot trust them. This is the reason why we should not honor Juneteenth, because the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Juneteenth became a national holiday by the hands of the wicked. Jim Crow Joe Biden. All right, so Juneteenth is pro-white supremacy because they are the ones who benefit from it. It's a federal holiday. They get a day off to slavery, and we're not the ones that's inside of those federal government jobs. A few of us is in there, but the bulk of us are not. So therefore, we're not even reaping the benefit of this holiday to be off from our slavery because we're not in those positions of those type of jobs. It's pro-white supremacy because I just showed y'all the damn picture. They put their face on it just 2 years after it became a holiday. They didn't even wait a decade. They couldn't even put a zero behind it 1 year. They already is trying to take over, and they're smiling, and they're telling people to come over here and support Juneteenth. Because these Negroes are going to spend their money. And all you got to do is come there and be a vendor. And you're going to make millions off of them. So, yeah, we freed those slaves, but now them slaves are going to pay us, make us rich, and they stay dumb dogs. All right, so I might do Psalms 83, 55. No, I don't want that. Give me Obadiah 1 and 5, and I'm going to end the class on that one. Obadiah 1 and 5. It should be right around Amos. Psalm 1.
Yeah, I'm good. You don't want to read one? I can't read.
I read it. Like, you been on the road.
Okay. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night.
So we're talking about someone that's coming to you, right? Somebody who's going to steal. We're talking about wicked ones, right? Those who have no good intentions. So it says if thieves come to you, like, how does a thief come to you? Now I'm not talking about a robber. A thief come to you like when you don't even know it. Like they pickpocket you, they slide, they get inside your house, they befriend you, they say good words to you, they come to you, all right? Keep going.
How art thou cut off?
Keep going.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
So have you ever heard of a generous thief? Like if you dropped your wallet, right? No, I scratched that. If your wallet is, ever been robbed?
No.
Okay, let's take a robber. Have you ever heard of a robber doing this? He catch somebody, right? Oh, some guy just got paid. And what he got paid? He got an overtime check because the rent due. He got about $2,200 on dollars. He finna go get a money order to pay his rent because you gotta have the damn money order, right? He catch him walking to the advanced finance to get the money order. He ups the blicky on him, right? You got to get to him. And the robber really needs $500. You ever heard that robber say, hey, give me only $500 or give me all you got? Give me all your money. He takes that $2,000. And do the robber say, you know what, $2,000 is just too much. I only need $500. Do he give him the $1,500 back? Do he do that? No, the robber don't do that. Our oppressors, when they stole this country, did he say, no, well, let me give some of this land back? No, he took it by force. He took it by blood. And he kept raping, and he kept murdering, and he kept stealing, and he kept stealing. So that's why he asked the question. If you had not stolen till you had enough, like, will you steal till you have enough? Keep going.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
So at this time, grapes is one of those type of fruits that it was good to have because we drank wine, but like it almost take almost 2 years to have like a really good harvest. So it was something it took work to do. So now they're talking about with the grape gatherers, like if you're gathering grapes, would you not leave some grapes? If you're going to take all these grapes, would you leave just a few? Keep going.
Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Man, Esau is the biggest thief known to man. Esau is the biggest robber known to man. He's a grape gatherer that leaves you nothing. He takes everything from you. He leaves you not even a crumb. You'd be lucky to find any evidence of him even being there outside his stuff being gone. Keep going.
Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy.
Man, though Esau has plenty of confederates. Like he got people amongst our own kinsmen that want to honor him and work with him. Keep going.
That brought thee even to the border.
No matter where you run, even amongst different countrymen, down to a border, like you got our oppressors that still working. Keep going.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
Man, we tried to be at peace with our oppressors so many times, even now to today, when they still tell you that there are so-called good Edomites, which I say, based on what Scripture says, there's no such thing. Keep going.
And prevailed against thee, that they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Keep going.
There is none understanding in him.
Man, you cannot understand this beast. This beast has been stealing. This beast has been robbing ever since he's been in existence. So why the hell would we want to accept anything that he gives us with a grain of salt? If you have to work in this country, we go to our slavery because we are not in rulership. But outside of that, we will not honor anything he gives us. We're only going to honor what the Lord said is right for us to have, because there is no understanding in him. For the lack of it, we've been nothing but peaceful to our oppressor, and yet he still is wicked towards us. He's wicked towards us through any presidency. He's wicked towards us through all his laws. He's wicked towards us through all these filth we push on our kids and ourselves. He's wicked towards us based on the laws of the land and how we inside this prison system. For the life of us, if you used to think about it rationally, you cannot understand your oppressor. Why? How come we can't understand our oppressor? You gotta stay on class. How come we cannot understand our oppressor?
Because they won't let us.
They weak.
They be hiding shit.
Yeah, he got it. They don't say it again.
They weak.
Give him a hand. Like, give a brother a hand. Man, they wicked. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. There's no understanding evil. Evil is evil. Why? One, because Most High said, how can you make straight of what I made crooked? If it's crooked, let it be crooked. I ain't trying to fix it out. I ain't trying to straighten it out. If it's wicked, let it be wicked. We are the righteous. We are the children of the righteous. The God of Israel, Yahweh in Hebrew. So we got to understand, like, we have to live our life the way the Most High says we're supposed to live it. Don't make straight what the Lord has made crooked. If you're cordial with them, be cordial. Don't even be friends with them. Be cordial. Y'all do business together. If you got to do business, you do your business. But give your love to your people. And when they come giving us some old Juneteenth, no. Juneteenth was started because some slaves down in Galveston Bay, Texas, found out they was free 2 years later after it happened. And after that, they started to celebrate it annually, every year. Then over the years, more and more black people start coming together and they're celebrating it. And now, a few of blacks wanted to make it a national holiday, along with some whites. And then in 2021, Jim Crow Joe Biden made it a federal holiday. And then a year after that, in 2022, right down in Hadley Park, the ISUPK saw Edomite vendors. They're making money off of black people, of them having a so-called holiday for them being freed as slaves. Now in 2023, they put white people on the banner. They're already changing the faces of those, our people. They're now saying that they're the reason why they should celebrate Juneteenth, not blacks. So therefore, white supremacy was given to us by the wicked, which is our oppressor. So therefore, Juneteenth is pro-white supremacy. They put that all over the damn news. Look what these whites done. Look what Peter and Karen did. So, to answer your question, is Juneteenth pro-white supremacy? The answer is emphatically yes. It is pro-white supremacy. Because you cannot think of any benefit that you get from it. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. As a matter of fact, let me do the security announcements real quick. Let me get through this real quick. Let's lock it. Soon to come up. There we go. All right, so this is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period is over, that brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashra, which means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny or increase the Lord gives you. You give this to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds. This is a free will offering for priests. This is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. For the next upcoming Holy Convocation to be determined. If a brother wants to be part of the trooper program in the school, he is to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And that will say a module. Module means stand. All right, men of Israel. We had a module. We're going to do a one curse salute. A module Shabbat. A module. Barak. Yahweh Bashin Yahshua Barakatah. You got it? All right, y'all Matah. Class is missed.
From Westworld One Westworld. Let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Skimmer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Stood against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing times, wasting steady pace, and you off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But there's power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason, got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest, they gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have a deep squad. Been rapping since knee high, now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One Westworld, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we half, but we come from half knots. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.